Yeah, welcome to this class of leadership styles. And in this particular class, we'll look into 5 different leadership styles given out by the different authors. The first one is the Lewin's leadership style. Then we have the Black Mountain managerial grid. We have the path-goal theory. We have the 6 emotional leadership styles. And we have the Flamont's and Rados leadership style matrix. So let us start with the first one, the Lewin's leadership style. According to Lewin, leadership style should be only limited into 3. The first one is authoritarian, which is also referred to as autocratic kind of leadership. And then we have participative, which is also referred to as democratic kind of leadership. And then we have delegative kind of leadership, which is also referred to as laissez-faire. In autocratic leadership, the leaders do not involve the people they are leading in decision making. So they tend to make decisions, and those particular decisions are supposed to be followed. Then in participative kind of leadership, which is also referred to as democratic, everybody is involved in the decision making, and leaders are able to bring people together, consult with them, and then they make decisions, and everyone is supposed to follow those particular decisions. Then in terms of laissez-faire, people are allowed to make decisions in regard to the direction and a particular organization is supposed to take. And this basically happens when the people working in a particular organization are highly trained. So that kind of group, which is always highly flexible, can be trusted with making decisions on especially the strategic decision of a particular organization. And this is where laissez-faire kind of leadership is practiced. Then we have the Black Mountain managerial grid. This is the kind of this kind of leadership was published in 1964, and according to Black Mountain, leadership is supposed to be focused on creating a highly cohesive team and managing teams to ensure that they meet their mandates. So in any organization, different goals are supposed to be met by creating specific teams, and these particular teams are supposed to be fully equipped with everything that is supposed to enable them to meet the kind of objectives that they are supposed to meet as a team. And management and leadership should be focused on leading those particular teams to ensure that they realize the kind of goals that they are supposed to realize. Then we have the path-goal theory kind of leadership, and according to path-goal theory, this kind of leadership is supposed to be practiced in such a way that different types of leaderships are supposed to be practiced based on the people who are supposed to be led, the kind of tasks that are supposed to be performed in a particular organization, and stuff like that. So what this basically means is that leadership is supposed to be customized based on the scenario. There is no one kind of leadership that fits all situations. So, for instance, if you are leading the military, you need to apply a kind of leadership that is good for the military, and that is basically the autocratic kind of leadership, where a commander gives a command and every other person is supposed to follow suit. If you are leading intellectuals, people who are highly trained and are focused in trying to move a particular organization forward, a laissez-faire kind of leadership is very important, because these people expect to work in a flexible work environment and can be trusted in making strategic decisions for a particular organization. So that is according to path-goal theory. Leadership should be customized based on the tasks at hand, the type of people are supposed to be led, and the organization. Then I want us now to talk about the 6 emotional leadership styles, and these are the common types of leaderships that people talk about. And in these particular leadership styles are basically published in a book referred to as entitled as the Primal Leadership, which was published in 2002 by Daniel Goleman. And Daniel Goleman, Richard Boyatz, and as well as Annie Mackenzie talked about the following. So the first kind of leadership is visionary leadership. So under visionary leadership, a leader is supposed to be a visionary. He's supposed to create some vision, and he's supposed to ensure that the people they are leading buy into this particular vision and help a particular organization to realize its goals by working towards the realization of a particular vision. Then we have coaching kind of leadership. And in coaching kind of leadership, the leader plays the role of a coach. So they try to coach every other person on the kind of information that they are or the kind of activity that they are supposed to take. Then after that, every other person is supposed to do as they have been coached. And that is how organizations are supposed to meet their goals. Then we have affiliative kind of leadership. And an affiliative kind of leadership, members are meant to get affiliated to companies' strategic goals and objectives. And simply because every employee feels affiliated to this kind of objectives, it is possible to lead these people and ensure that they meet the kind of goals that they are expected to meet. Then we have democratic kind of leadership where there is a lot of participation in decision making. Team members are allowed to participate in decision making, and through that they are led towards meeting the kind of decisions that they have made. Then we have pace setting kind of leadership where the leader becomes the pace setter, and then they set the pace, and every other person they are leading is supposed to walk in that pace. This kind of leadership has several advantages and disadvantages. The main disadvantage is that there are some different employees have different capabilities, and therefore, if you set a pace where a particular employee cannot meet that particular phase, then they will feel like failures, and those particular employees may leave the organization. So it is very important to ensure that you assess the type of employees you have before coming up with the pace setting kind of leadership. Then we have the commanding kind of leadership, which is referred to as the autocratic kind of leadership. And as I've said before, this kind of leadership is applied in the military. It works there because in the military kind of setup, people are supposed to receive commands and from their bosses, and they are supposed to effect those commands. Then lastly, I want us to talk about the Flamont and Rados style of leadership. This kind of leadership only came out with two main leadership strategies in any organization. And the first one is that a particular organization should have a strategic leadership. And the second one is operational leadership. So in regard to strategic leadership, this is a kind of leadership that is associated with leading a particular organization to meet their vision, mission, and long-term strategic goals. So that kind of leadership should be practiced by top management to ensure that they lead employees to meeting their strategic goals. Then we have another kind of leadership which is referred to as operational leadership style. And this kind of leadership is the kind of leadership that is supposed to be practiced in meeting the day-to-day activities of a particular organization. Therefore, this kind of leadership is supposed to be practiced by low-level employees like supervisors and managers to ensure that they lead employees to meet their goals. And this particular kind of leadership ensures that a particular organization produces goods and services in a very efficient manner. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed my lecture.